Apollo joined with EG in control. How you doing? You good? You ready for the next match?
I'm absolutely ready. I cannot wait. Hopefully you guys can hear us. Again, we're working on the sound issues. We will get that fixed. Up until then, think of us as heroes fighting through all adversity.
The thing is, there's actually like no problems on the stream from what I've been told. So you guys at home sitting there in your boxes, and
we look weird.
Your can of Coke are probably like, what is wrong with those guys? Well, a lot. And we're trying to fix it. There's nothing wrong with you. The stream should be great. Let us know. Of course, you can go on Twitter and give us a tweet at EG in control, at EG Apollo. Wait a minute. No, I messed up. That is not true. At Apollo SC2.
Listen.
I almost did that one.
However many couples of noodles you're paying this guy, we'll double it. All right? If we can get Evil Geniuses Apollo. We got one Brit. There'll be like two of you. What happens when two of you show up?
We have tea and scones.
You guys probably become a lot more British. All right.
All right, so we can get ready to jump into map number 2 here. Of course, there's going to be Stephano's the SCC. It is going to be on Cloud Kingdom. I'm very excited to get into this next map. We can begin it once we have a player ready. It looks like drunk about maybe 4 to 6 times a day. A cup of tea.
So tea time is actually...
Tea time's real.
But it's like, there's a
all
lot
day.
of tea
There's
time.
a lot of tea time.
You guys make time for that.
In the morning, it's like tea time, and then in the lunchtime tea time, it's always tea time.
While we're on British factoids, by the way.
Yeah.
So I just flew British Airways here. Hellspawn was kind enough to get me to the airport 9 hours early before my flight, and then I hung out at the airport, then I flew. British people are awesome. Let me start off by saying that. But on airplanes, no sense of urgency. None at all. I had to go so bad, and I'm standing at the door, and this person goes in, they're like, "Hey, just be a moment." She closed the door. 25 minutes later, after I've almost peed myself, she's, "Hey, I didn't know you were waiting." What do you do in that tiny bathroom for 25 minutes? What do British people do in there? Is it tea time in the bathroom on the airplane?
No, man, we don't have tea in the bathroom.
I almost yelled at an old lady on an airplane. There's nowhere to go after that.
All right, so let's jump into this thing out. I was going to say something, but I'm going to talk about it in a minute. So let's get into this game, of course, on Cloud Kingdom. Stephano up here as the red Zerg. We did change that, and I was speaking a bit like, if everybody watches MLG, you may know the Halo stream, you know Chris Puckett. He talks like that. And up here we have Stephano in the red colors on the top right of Cloud Kingdom. And of course, there's his seat in the bottom left. But going back to what I was saying, Jeff, is that I heard that you ran into Mrs. Too Good Harding in London.
And she, let me tell you, so if James is known for being kind of a dick and kind of funny that way, and mean at times, he did not get it from his mother, okay? So I had to go through Heathrow security, and they didn't trust my toothpaste, so like 25 minutes later, I actually get out of there. I barely make it to my terminal. I've been sweating. I haven't drank anything. I'm pissed. And the machine takes 2.5 pounds, which is like $70 US. So I didn't have that. And here's this lovely lady who I've met a few times. We're getting proxy racks. Talk about that in a second. And I know exactly what this is, by the way. It's one fake proxy racks, but 1 second. No, it's actually going to be 2.
Now,
anyways,
please continue. The story is
she hands
so
me
much
the
more
coins
interesting.
to go drink something that saved my life. So Miss Harding, excuse me, saved my life, whereas James makes it richer at times.
At times. All right.
Double proxy rack.
So we have double 11 barracks.
I might be in trouble here in a second, Sean.
It's okay, man. I love it when people get in trouble.
You want to know why? So
why?
Before the tournament started, I said, "Hey, Stephano, the STC does this thing where he does one fake proxy racks, brings no SCVs, and tries to get you to overreact. This is not fake. This is
the real deal. 16 spawning
good.
pool for Stephano. As you see that now coming down, he doesn't know what's going on yet. He hasn't drone scouted.
I'm a little bit
worried.
worried.
An overlord that it's not going to be in too much danger. If there's 3 Marines come at once, the overlord's in danger. If it's just 1, it's okay. Well, this could be problematic here for Stephano, and we could be seeing a 3rd game. Let's see.
What do you think about this placement of the barracks, though? Like, is this... I feel like this is on the safer side, right? You could put them further out there to get them closer to the hatchery, or is this as far as it needs to be?
That's okay. Here is okay, especially if it's not scouted like this. This is as dangerous as a one close. Okay. So we're about to see that, the extent of it. Of course, it could be a bit more dangerous if it was there, but Stephano sees the SCVs now. He sees 4 SCVs being transferred over. He sees the bunker, and guess what? Yeah. He only just now has finished with the spawning pool. Only just now building 6 lanes. Almost all of his drones are coming. He knows saved Larva.
He saved Larva. I think he sniffed this out somehow. I'm not sure how he did it. But then again, nobody knows how Stephano scouts. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Drones are here doing battle. Great micro from the STC, but it's all about the drone count being taking some losses here. And I don't know. What do you think about these losses? Is it too much, or is he okay?
I think he's losing too many here. Because you have to consistently build lings here. The bunker's finished. There's a lot of SCVs here. There's a lot of Marines backing this up too. But with the spine crawler coming down that I've just seen, I think it should be okay.
Yeah, it's definitely safe. It's just a question of how much did he spend to get here? Cause
yeah, it's 16 SCVs to 12 drones.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I know a lot of the SCVs are over here. And the command center's not started just yet. Actually...
Wow, he's just going for it. Stephano may get pulled into a kind of a bit bad position here. Wait, is that barracks lifted? Okay, 2 barracks lifted. So he is going to get a command center.
He's going home. And I mean, if you look at this, there was a... I didn't expect the SCVs to hurt him this bad, but he still hasn't placed his command center. He's definitely saving up for it. So he's quite a bit... I don't know if I'd call it behind, but he's definitely equal at least.
Yeah, with the command center coming down, 18 to 16, by the time this command center finishes, Stephano's going to be at like 25 or more drones. So I think ultimately here, Stephano's ahead after pushing that back, just because the command center coming down is so long away, right?
Ooh, even going after the Overlord here with the floating barracks, and he will get that for show.
Ooh.
Of course, as I say that, I think I'm being made into a liar. No, he's going to give up on it, so
wow, okay.
I take back that for show. I apologize.
That's right, because show isn't here anyway, so you might as well take him back.
There's like nowhere I can go with that joke that would not be just really mean, so...
Yeah. Standardized follow-up, though, which will help. We talked about it before that Stephano will be ahead in drones by the time that second command center finishes to help out that cause. Of course, SC3 throws down the third.
For Stephano?
Stephano?
Is this a... Does he... I mean, it's just the one gas, so certainly...
Okay, so he's looking to punish the third command center down, right? So, usually if Stephano wanted to play complete catch-up, then he just drones consistently and throws down a third hatch.
He's saving Larva, too, right now,
He's saving Larva, he's saving gas. He's going to be able to build, say, about 10 roaches, I think, by the time the roach farm's done, maybe a bit more. And he knows that the third command center is the follow-up to this, right? So he's looking to punish it, and this could work out really well. The question is now, can the STC scout it out himself? There's a 3 barracks wall off. A bunker behind that makes this very difficult for roaches to do anything.
You know what, though? With the 3 barracks as a wall off, you're almost guaranteed to see 0 tech lab or reactor there, obviously. So it's going to be like a reactor Hellion follow-up, in which case, or maybe not even reactor, but just a Hellion follow-up at least. That's all week against roaches. I think there's going to be a long stretch of time here where Stephano's going to be the big dog on the playground. Yeah,
and he's only built 6 roaches. He could have built more with the gas he's got banked up now, but he's only built 6. And these 6 roaches, they won't be looking to kill, but they're going to deny that tech lab on the other side of the barracks wall, for example. They can start to bring stuff down.
The Terran doesn't have control of the tower. He won't see this until they show up, and there is a tech lab on one of the barracks that's a part of the wall. And so while it is just 6 roaches, I feel like the value for those 6 roaches is going to be ridiculous.
And there's a double factory behind this as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Blue Flame. Or straight to tanks. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Blue Flame, though. But Stephano's coming. He won't be able to take a 3rd base because all his aggressive units are on the other side of the map. That's the downside of Stephano not scouting this. But combat shield's definitely been denied.
Double bunkers go up right away. They're off the barracks, so of course they will finish before any kind of penetration is actually achieved. I know it's a really weird way to word that, and I apologize. Roach is now going to town on one of the barracks. It will get repaired here for a moment. The Marines in the background, by the way, still just denying the 3rd, and as it is, that's really strong because there's no units out there.
And the supply block, because Stephano at 60 supplies had to build 2 overlords at once, which denies him from taking the 3rd for even longer, so...
Oh, whoa. He just raised the barracks trying to save the Marauder, but in doing so, of course, he loses a few units here, but ultimately I think he will be safe. There's SCVs here to repair, and now they're being focused down, so Stephano's going to get in as much damage as he possibly can. And again, at the end of the day, I feel like those roaches were absolutely worth it. But meanwhile, we've moved up to 4 gas behind this. No lair just yet. I do anticipate the lair, though, right? It's double Evo Chamber lair, probably Ling Infester.
Yeah, absolutely here. But Stephano is known for going Roach Hydra. I don't know if he's going to do it in this game.
Well, he's known for it because he's the only human being on the planet to have attempted it against Terran. I mean,
he does pick off that last mule, though. So we'll see what the upgrades tell from Stephano when these evolution chambers finish. But Blue Flame is going to be the choice here, of course. And he will be looking for this follow-up punch. So it is going to be melee upgrade, so it will be Ling Infester. Stephano's not a big fan of using the Spire, so I'm pretty sure 100% it's going to be the Infestors.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though...
double Evo.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, did Stephano pick off enough Thestc Vs to warrant that very late third hatchery? Because that is late.
I mean, I think that's a fantastic question. And the other thing here, too, is we have 12 Lings coming out now, so they will actually end up doing that. But by being on 2 base this long, it's well known that there's exactly 2 options for the Zerg. It's either going to be Ling Infestor or Muta. The phase for, like, Roach Baneling has come and gone. So that's why I say there's only real 2 options. So I feel like the SCC has the information necessary to cultivate his strategy into a fine-tuned weapon. I mean, I feel like he should be able to handle this.
So there go down. Eventually, these Marines will fall down with a green help as well. We are going to see mech from the SCC, of course, these 3 factories coming in.
Oh, it is mech.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is going to be mech.
Ah, so I mean, that's kind of interesting because he definitely had a tech lab going for combat shield, but you can see that. Oh wow, the natural. Never mind.
Yeah, these Hellions just come in blindsided. Stephano had no idea, and they got a lot of drone kills. They're going to get even more kills here, and this blue flame attack completely caught Stephano off guard. And well, comparing this to game 1, this has been a lot more scrappy.
Yeah.
A lot more damage dealt left and right to each other. And these Hellions have brought the drone count down to 44. It's not been down that much. I don't think he killed that many drones.
No, it's 12 overall. So
and then
whatever
with the
from
2
that
racks,
opening, yeah.
I think he killed that many.
The thing is, when you're on 2-base economy, it doesn't take much to affect the overall ecosystem of your economy. And if he had 3 bases that was pumping out larva, but then also additional mining from a 3rd base, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But here, I think Stephano was put back quite a bit.
Well,
it's not like it's the end of days, but I think it's enough.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, he's getting roach speed now. He kind of... I think Stephano's getting maybe a bit of a hint to what's going on, especially with the roach speed on the way, but still not 100% certain. We do have the Hellions on the 3rd base of Stephano again here, getting shut down immediately by Roach and a Queen, or Roaches and a Queen, and Stephano will be able to draw towards his 3rd. FCC, though, on 6 gases, the one good thing is that because he hasn't got Banshees, he's a little bit lucky that Stephano isn't opting to go a lot of Roaches.
Yeah.
He would get overrun here, but look at the upgrades, really, really far behind just because of the way this game's set up. You know, 1-1 only just now started compared to 2-2, and that's going to make a massive difference for the Ultralisk, which is ultimately what Stephano's going for here.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen him do Ultras a few times on this map in particular. I also want to see, I mean, with that last Hellion harass getting shut down as hard as it did, I feel like a strong Zerg response should almost always be drop a hatchery every time that happens, because it's not like you lose 10 Hellions in a harass, or in this case like 5 or 6, and then say, well, I think I'll do it again right now, or attack right now. Excuse me.
Yeah. All right, so we do have a handful of Roaches protecting. Pathogen glands on the way now for Stephano.
Oh wow.
The SCC getting more factories here. Actually hasn't added on a 4th command center, if I'm not mistaken.
No, there's one behind the 3rd there.
Oh, there is? Okay, it's already...
Yeah, he actually did that fairly early on. I mean, STC has been really impressive with his economic management. We do see some light Hellion harass here killing 3 drones for the cost of only 2 Hellions, so that's not bad. Another run by up here, but Stephano has spread out his Roaches. He's not looking to be aggressive with them. He's instead looking to shut down harass, and so far, it's been successful.
And now with the Hive finish, we have the Adrenal Glands on the way. I'm pretty sure the Ultros Cavern will follow. There it is. And Stephano playing very tight on 3 bases, is taking a 4th base on the right-hand side now. And with a 4th base being taken, he will have, of course, an extended amount of resources, but a little bit supply capped again here, having to build 6 overlords at once, playing a little bit sloppy in this next game.
Now, Apollo, you are a fantastic all-race player. What is your dream composition? You've gone mech, so you're locked in that far. You're now facing Ultras on a medium-sized map like Cloud Kingdom. What do you adjust composition-wise? Where do you want to go from here?
Thors need to start coming in.
Thors, okay.
Thor, Hellion, Viking is like the composition you want towards the end stages. Tanks become less and less valuable, especially because the threat of Brutalists is out there. Initially, early on, they are okay versus Ultras, but Thors are better, the DPS is higher, especially when they have the plating upgrade, because then they survive more hits.
And they have more utility, like you said. Yeah, they transition so much better over to anti-Broodlord defense. But we're going to have that push out here from the SCC, and he's announced himself. I mean, if you... with the Hellion harass, it was pretty obvious that we are facing mech, but if there was ever a question, showing up with 10 tanks usually says, hey, I'm going mech.
10 tanks is going to be good when they're all fully sieged up and so on, but if they're caught unsieged, which is Stephano's very good at doing, then they will all die very, very fast, which is the downside of having tanks here.
Yeah.
especially with a lot of Ultras on the way. The upgrades aren't quite done yet, though, as you can see, 3-3, not done. So it is going to be 2-2 versus 1-1. Good position here for the SEC, but at the same time, Stephano's ready to go.
Yep. He's got the Ultras. The tank's just now sieging, so okay, they will be fine. If there is an engagement, they'll have to wade through death and gore here as the tanks are sieged. We have those beach balls getting lobbed forward, trying to aggro a lot of the damage. The tank's getting surrounded, and here is Stephano. This first mech push is about to get thwarted, while the Hellions are thinning out the lighter units here. It's the Ultralisk anchoring this attack.
Yeah, and then the Infested Terrans DPS in the back as well. Goodbye, SDC's army, and Stephano pushes that back. And behind this, there are actually Hellions going to this right-hand side. Stephano ultimately is still only mining on 3 bases. He hasn't saturated a 4th yet. The SDC has more Hellions on the 3rd again here. And well, this is it wasn't the best assault from the SDC, but backed up with the fact that Stephano doesn't have the best economy, and he is Hellion harassing. Thors are now coming in as well.
Yeah, I mean,
looking better.
I fully agree with you. We're going to have this base attacked here. The tanks need to get sieged, so they're just kind of begging to be attacked. They are going to go ahead and get sieged before any kind of engagement here. Stephano target fires the planetary. He does get it, and he's going to go after the tank line, but I feel like, actually, never mind. I was about to talk about how he couldn't get this, but he's corrupted that line there and is moving in. There's 2 Thors anchoring this, and I think ultimately Stephano will retreat. I want to say this, though, Apollo. I feel like if you're going to lose a mech army like that, you at least have to eliminate options like a base. I would have liked this 5th base to have been targeted down and then push forward. I don't think Stephano would have engaged before that.
And Hellions on the left-hand side here again. He's going to try and get towards the mineral line again here. And an Ultralisk is going to try and defend it, but that's not going to be good enough, fortunately. Lings come in to help. Well, a lot of drones are going to go down here. Stephano has to prevent the SCC from taking another 4th base, who he's about to do so.
I really like this barracks wall in, by the way, leading up into the natural. I know it's a really small point, but my god, what a great use of the barracks at this point in time. A lot of times, the harding for mech on this map is not holding your 4th. It's justifying holding your 4th while your natural / 3rd are exposed. But we're going to see Stephano go for a frontal assault here.
Stephano does need to...
So many tanks are on siege, Apollo. They're just now sieging. This is actually an orbital command center, but they are going to back away, are the Ultralisk, and I feel like that's probably the right choice. I feel like he probably would have just died in that valley. Maybe he picks off the orbital, or it just picks up.
Yeah. This is getting a little bit difficult here for the SCC. 10 Ultralists waiting to go.
Did your computer die?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The Spire is on its way for the transition. We have 3 Spires now protecting these expansions. I love that the SCC is getting into the drone lines, doing a lot of damage here. Consistently small amounts of damage. We have the complete Thor switch now, as we've seen in production tab. 3 Thors, 3-3 on the way as well for them. And now there's going to be a nice opportunity for the STC right before Broodlords. Like, if he gets the 3-3, a really nice Thor Hellion army, and gets Stephano before he's ready with Broodlords, that's going to be really nice.
Yeah, especially with how many Thors he has, like you've been saying. I mean, they're good against Ultralists, and they are the answer to your Broodlords as well. So, actually, even the Spire getting scouted out now by those Hellions, STC achieving fantastic information. The other nice thing here, too, is by killing these drones, you're opening up opportunities for, like, 2 drones on 1 gas. Or in Stephano's base, we see 5 on 1 gas. If that mistake goes on, that's 2 wasted supply. It could have been somewhere else, and that actually adds up.
And here's that timing I talked about right now. The STC is trying to hit it. It's a beautiful timing to hit. There are a lot of Ultralists still, though, so it's not going to be an easy timing to hit. It's not like an easy one. And, well, Stephano getting ready to pounce.
That'd be a tough approach.
Look at how many tanks there are. +3 attack is so close to finishing 2. If only he had that.
I think he will. At least he's seconds away from getting it. Stephano is weary of attacking up a ramp, and rightfully so, but he is circling around. It looks like he will go for it. The barracks is going to plant, but it doesn't get there. Here come the Ultralists, but they're being held up by these Hellions, which means they're taking tremendous damage from the tanks, and the STC holds a fantastic and beautiful position, orchestrating a big victory from there.
The STC is playing so well in this series. Absolutely. He's hit this timing right before the Great Aspire is done. It's perfect. The Hellions did their job. The tanks backing the Thors up. This was a beautiful constructed attack there. Stephano couldn't get the angle. He had to take the fight otherwise. Well, actually, I say that, and then I kind of think back to it. Did he have to take it?
I don't think so.
Know.
You need 4 bases to sustain Broodlords, that's for sure. But he has another base that's lightly saturated. He could have just transferred all the drones over there, I felt, and then used the Ultralisk to at least counterattack and either open up a retreat from the Terran, or maybe a countermeasure where they trade base for base, in which case the Terran can't afford that, but the Zerg can. But we're going to have that unsieged fight here. Fungal's going down, holding the tanks in that position, but there's not enough Zerg here. The Ultras go down easily, and the SEC marches on.
And even with the Broodlords coming out eventually here, I still don't think Stephano could do it. He doesn't have that much money. He's only going to be able to morph a couple of them. He has a couple out already.
This base will go down. That's at least the byproduct of this attack. Yeah. There's no way. I mean, he's not focusing it.
Get out. It's fine. He's actually really fine for the SEC. He's taking a 5th in the bottom right.
He's taking a 5th, but he actually has like 1,000 orbital command centers. Look at the large blue blocks at the base of the map. Those are all orbital command centers. He is transitioning beautifully into an extremely supply-efficient army. I mean, look at this. He has SCVs on the front line, not necessarily being sacrificed, but instead just repairing and then sacrificing themselves.
Thor, Hellion, a strong combination to have as well. And I think he has a couple
of
Starports.
These Broodlords are dead.
Yeah, a couple of Starports would be nice to add a couple of Vikings in the mix as well. Broodlords are dead. Stephano's on 3 bases, which are hardly mining.
Well, he's on 1 base economy.
Minutes.
I mean,
yeah.
He had no bank. We're not living off the fat of like 3,000 minerals in gas right now. He's down 100 supply. The STC has just manufactured a gorgeous win here, taking the right engagements, changing his composition throughout the game, and being so reactive about that Stephano is facing quite the beast here. I mean, this is some kind of super monster Terran.
That's right. STC is playing a great game here. A lot of people just predicted a 2-0 sweep for Stephano. Not the case here. There's a lot of queens in there. Going to try to be able to transfuse these Broodlords. Maybe able to keep them alive for a bit longer, but the DPS of these +3 Broodlords may be too much.
I mean, even if they win this fight, they lose the war, that's for sure. The 3rd hatch is gone, which means Stephano is relinquished to long-distance mining as his only mining right now. The Thors, with their repair, actually might be too much of a fight anyways, but then there's these queens acting the same as SCVs, so it's like a battle of the Terminators right now. They're both very fine with living forever. A very nice issue to have.
And now the Vikings are coming in. And the Vikings will stop Broodlords living forever, Jeff.
They will?
That's what they're there
Damn
for.
it.
Vikings.
They're like the flying Terminators, man. Those guys are awesome.
And Stephano knows it. GG, or he is a different GG for Stephano. Well played, and that's the end of game number 2 there. And the SEC manages to draw up the series.
And I don't know. I felt like a lot of people take Stephano to Cloud Kingdom.
Yeah.
But very few people, in my opinion, execute a full breadth of strategy like we saw the STC do. He opened up with a very efficient barracks push, bunker push, excuse me, that did not kill Stephano, but it did enough damage that allowed him to dictate the pace after that. Yeah. He went with a wall in, which I was surprised to see the tech lab. But after that, he's like, you know what? Actually, because you went with that roach timing, that, yeah, it did damage, but you're in position to deal with my light bio.
He was smart because he knew that he was never going to be able to go bio with labs on the outside.
Exactly.
So he just switched over to mech, and that basically showed the adaptation of SCC as a player, being able to switch styles like that on the fly. And there was mistakes from Stephano that allowed the SCC to get into the mid game a lot harder than he should have. But ultimately, the SCC did play very, very well in that game.
And I feel like that's what makes the SCC so dangerous. When you talk about the SCC, no one's like, oh, dude, the SCC, he has the best macro in StarCraft 2. Nobody says that. Not that he has bad macro. But what they do say is, he's kind of an off-the-cuff player. Who knows what he's going to do? But when he's got this kind of intelligence behind his off-the-cuff play, it's incredible.
All right, guys, we are going to take another quick break here before we get this game underway. We have a couple of issues still to sort out. But when we return, map number 3 between Stephano and the SCC will, of course, continue. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later.
Spider, when we say go to commercial. It's the joke that's going to be funny for one more week.